Hi, my name's Cristoval Martinez.
I'm Raven Chacon. I'm Kate Twist. And with Nathan Young, who isn't with us right now, we're collectively Post-Commodity. I mean, metaphor is essential for meaning. Language is entirely dependent upon metaphor to convey meaning. And I think for post-commodity, we use metaphor as a benchmark for a point in time when people are trying to rationalize contemporary experience. So metaphor is important to use, not just because all artists are storytellers and each work is about telling a particular story, but it's about communicating in a way that enables dialogue, that steps away from the didactic and into the symbolic world where a broader discussion can take place, where more people can inject themselves into the space, into the work, and take something away from it. I think that's the power of metaphor.
The installation is wired with these triggers that are meant to simulate the triggers that are used in IED explosives, particularly the fertilizer bombs that have been effectively used in Afghanistan and Iraq. And what happens is that when someone steps on one of these triggers, it creates a large three-dimensional sonic concussion. And during that concussion, there are haptic devices that are also wired into the floor. So you just get this, you have this sort of visceral experience of sound, and you have this experience of the floor rumbling beneath your feet. And as it happens, the room essentially goes to white. What you're hearing is several tracks of popular music, both American and European popular music, and so you're sort of you experience this bombardment of sonic shrapnel, which is creating this sort of vexing discourse of what bombs are.
The two works surely dialogue, and they also have a lot in common with some overall themes that are in Post-Commodity's work. Some of our installations are designed to be lures, which they become larger traps with some kind of bait inside of them. In the case of both of these, you find this idyllic nature that presents itself, an idyllic nature that perhaps doesn't even truly exist, but that is usually portrayed as an inverse to places like the desert, like Afghanistan, to Phoenix. Phoenix tries to grow, tries to make itself look green, with lawns and trees, and it tries to escape what it truly is in this desert. And in the case of Just Verdun, you have these scenes which are trying to be as far away from Afghanistan as possible. And so we present both of these as temporary illusions that you're trying to attain, trying to find yourself inside of, but you're trapped by a window or by the barrier of a landmine between you and this other reality.
In Pollination, which is a simulation of a peep show, what you experience is you experience this, the grittiness of a peep show-like environment, and so when you put your coin in the slot and the window opens, you see this kind of Garden of Eden type of terrarium with butterflies fluttering around as a surrogate for a stripper, a nude dancer.
When culture is removed from its intended context, it becomes a fetish. That is a significant aspect of this piece in particular. But there's something beyond the fetish that it's looking at. It's looking at how it's positioned in two distinct, I think, markets. One's the global economy, and the other is within the art world itself.
Post-Commodity is a transdisciplinary collective of Indigenous artists based in the Southwest. We come from different backgrounds: music, filmmaking, writing, engineering, and different kinds of new media applications in our work. We got together just to combine all of these resources and to make installations that are above the capacity of any individual one of us to make. So,
using multiple brains, multiple sets of eyes, and multiple skill sets, we're able to create an environment to where we can really unleash our creativity. We don't have any limits really placed upon us when we're working together and collaboratively. One thing that is very important and something that brought us together is I think we all four acknowledge that the history of the art world has been largely deaf. That sound has been absent from the history of the art world until the 20th century, and even then it was de-emphasized. So experimental music, sound art, trying to inject sound as well as discourse into the art world, and inject an indigenous discourse and indigenous sound. I think those are really powerful commonalities that have been essential to keeping our pieces focused, coherent, legible, and driving the evolution of our art practice.